Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on our YouTube channel, Flippin' Hippos. I'm Star. If you're new here or haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the thumbs up as you're listening today. Recently, I've been getting very aggressive about the tough love and the talk of racing to the bottom. I've also been doing a lot of videos on top jean sales and plush sales, just a lot of really great hard-hitting stuff for resellers. But today we're going to take a break from all of that and do something fun. This isn't reseller related, but it's reseller adjacent. We're going to talk about how I do menu planning. This is a highly requested video, believe it or not. I get messages and emails all the time saying, hey, Star, every time you talk about your schedules or how you do your routines, you always mention that you have a menu planning system in place. And I do mention it. I've been mentioning it for 6 years now. And I do have a really good system for how I do menu planning. The reason this is adjacent to reselling is because when you menu plan, you save time and money by being organized. You save a lot of time in the kitchen. You save a lot of time when you're at the grocery store. And when you save time, that leaves you more time to do other things such as thrifting and listing and working. And, I love to cook. I'm not by no means a professional chef. I actually think there's a huge difference between a chef and a cook. I'm a cook. I learned how to cook from a Southern family, and I learned how to cook from my grandmother's neighbor who was Mexican. She taught me a lot of dishes as well. I'm a great cook. I'm also one of those cooks you can throw in the kitchen and say, this is all we've got in the fridge and pantry. What can you throw together? And I can put together a pretty decent meal. I don't measure a lot of times when I cook. I just eyeball it. I can tell how much is going in or how much something needs just by the smell or the taste. So I just add seasonings without measuring. I do follow recipes, but I always change them to our liking or to how I cook. So I have a lot of recipes that I use all the time, but I constantly change them or add to them or make something different. So I guess I'm kind of like an experimental cook as well. I do love to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. I love all of my tools and my little doodads and my chopper and everything. In fact, I've been saying for years, I need to do a cooking channel. My point is, as much as I love to cook, I still don't want to be in the kitchen all night. This isn't my job. I don't get paid to cook. So after I get done with a long day of reselling work, I don't want to be in the kitchen all night. I don't mind prepping stuff ahead of time. I do a lot of cooking on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then we eat leftovers and other things throughout the week. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Also, if you are interested, we do have an Amazon store, and it's called the storefront. It's just basically affiliate links. We get a little kickback if you purchase items. In our Amazon storefront, there's a link in the description box. There's a section called Star's Kitchen, and I literally put everything in there that I use in our kitchen. Our kitchen is completely stocked from Amazon. There's not much in there that didn't get purchased from Amazon. So everything is in that little Star's Kitchen. You can see my purple Rachel Ray pots and pans that I use, my little chopper I use, and all of that. And if you see anything you like and you purchase it, you help us out with the little bit of kickback we get. Okay, so you want to save time. Obviously, no one wants to be in the kitchen all night. You want to have time to relax in the evening. Remember how I say work-life balance is important. You want to work all day. You want to relax at night. So you don't want to be in the kitchen forever, ever. A lot of the menu planning and the preparing ahead and the prepping ahead and the thinking ahead is what's going to save you time, but also save you money. When you go into the grocery store with a menu in place for the week and the items that you're going to need for the recipes that you're going to cook on your grocery list, and you have a running list going on your fridge every week, which we'll talk about, you go in the store, you know exactly what you need. And if you go to the same grocery store every week, you can actually start to memorize where things are. You guys know that. Like from this end of the store to this end of the store. You can kind of know what's up and down each aisle. So you can write your grocery list in sections and put it in the order that you're going to go through the store. So you're not zigzagging back and forth. You ever shopped with somebody who forgets something over in this aisle and then goes over here? Drives me absolutely batshit crazy, guys, really. I have my store memorized. We do 2 stores. We go to a store called Shop and Save every week and get what I need for the week, for lunches, for breakfast, for the meals, snacks. And once a month, the last Wednesday of every month, we go to the Super Walmart, which is a little more of a drive. Shop and Save is like 5 minutes from our house. And we get gas points at Shop and Save, and we save them up until we have like $1 off a gallon. And they're pretty generous with their gas points, which is why I like them so much. But we go to Walmart the 4th Wednesday of every month. It's about a 20 to 30-minute drive, but it's worth it because the household items at Walmart are much more affordable than getting them at the grocery store. You guys all know that. Your laundry soap, your dish soap, your cosmetics, even just bath soap and stuff like that, toilet paper is way more expensive at a grocery store than it would be at a Target or a Walmart. So, do a Super Target or Super Walmart once a month and stock up. Buy the items in bulk so that you only have to go once a month. So we buy like the largest pack of paper towels, the largest pack of toilet paper, and that actually usually lasts just me and Keith a couple of months. We buy the bulk packs of our dishwasher pods, the bulk packs of dishwasher soap or dish soap, sorry. We buy the, economy size bath soap. We buy the biggest jug we can find of laundry detergent. Not only will it last you longer, and you only have to go once a week or once a month. Also, it typically is cheaper to buy the economy size or the bulk sizes. If you look at the price tags on the shelf, they'll always tell you what you're paying per ounce or whatever. It typically is cheaper to buy in bulk. We also buy our meat once a month at Walmart in bulk. They have the large 5-pound packs of the ground beef, and that comes out cheaper per pound than buying the small packs. If you go to the grocery store every week and buy your little 1 and 2 pound packs of beef, you're paying more than getting the bulk ones. So I like to get 5 pounds of ground hamburger meat once a month, and then I buy all my chicken at Walmart as well. I'll get 3 to 5 pounds of chicken. So we get all of that. When we bring it home, I divide the meat into 1 pound balls, I guess you call them. And I put them in foil and I put them in the freezer. And now I have 5 pounds of meat. And then the chicken, I actually take a Monday. Like I said, Mondays and Tuesdays are my big days in the kitchen. Mondays and Tuesdays are when I will do a lot of extra cooking, a lot of extra prepping and freezing of stuff for the week to come. So after our trip to Walmart, probably the following Monday is usually a night we will have some kind of baked chicken that I'll make in the oven. I have different recipes. I'm going to show you my actual menu. But while that's cooking, because I like to cook my chicken for like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what I'm making, I take all the remaining chicken that I bought and I fry it in a skillet with onions, garlic, salt and pepper, just a little bit of oil, and fry it up real nice until it's not pink, like thoroughly cooked through. I have a big butcher block. I put it all on. And when it's cool, I have a specialty knife set, which you'll see if you go to the Amazon thing. And I use the bread knife. And sometimes I use the big slicey knife. But I cut the chicken into strips and then into cubes. So it's nice and pre-cooked and chopped up. And then I put it into baggies of a pound of a chicken. So 1 pound of chicken per bag, and that goes in the freezer, and that's for later recipes. So then we have chicken that night, and then I will often make a soup or something in the crock pot the next day with some of the chicken. I do a lot of crock pot cooking. I make a lot of soups and other things that I can make extra of in a crock pot and freeze a bunch of it for later. Keith and I do eat a lot of leftovers. We are not opposed to that. We do not like to waste food. And we have our tried and true recipes that we really enjoy eating, and we don't mind eating more than once. I will put a day in between. So let's say if I made homemade chicken noodle soup on Monday and we had grilled cheese sandwiches with it, Tuesday we would do something different, maybe tacos. And then Wednesday we would have the soup and the sandwiches again. And then Thursday we would eat the rest of the tacos, but maybe have a tamale on the side or something different. So we do it like every other day on our leftovers, and I do try to do like a different side dish or a different vegetable with it. So it's just a little different. But these are all tips that I can tell you. I have been running my household this way since I was 20, even long before Keith. This is just how my family raised me to buy everything in bulk, to prepare things ahead of time, to make extra and freeze it, to plan a menu, to plan a grocery list, to go to the store and get what you need and get out. Also, another really good tip my grandmother always taught me, don't go to the grocery store hungry. You're going to impulse buy, and you're going to buy things you don't need. So make sure you go when you're not hungry. Okay, let's talk about the running list before we get into my menus. So you can go to the Dollar Tree, you can go to Dollar General, you can go to Walmart. Everybody has these little pads you can stick on your freezer. I go to the Spirit Halloween store every year for their 50 and 75% off sales they have for actual home decor. It stays up all year. This is a Halloween house. This is a Halloween / nerd house, I should say. But they always have these cute pads there, and they'll be like 75% off. So I load up and buy a couple every year. This is what I have left right now. Okay. And they have magnets on the back, so they stick on the fridge. You can do this with dry erase boards. You can get the dollar pads to Dollar Tree. I just really like to have horror stuff all the time. So this one's Beetlejuice. And I am a firm believer in not wasting these either. Okay. So by a running list, I mean that you need to retrain your brain and everyone that you live with. You need to retrain their brain. You need to retrain everybody's brains to start thinking that when something is half gone, it needs to go on this list. There is nothing worse than going to the grocery store, getting everything you need, getting home, and a day or two later realizing we're out of toilet paper, we're out of laundry soap, we're out of bath soap, we're out of shampoo. We got to go back to the store. I like to go to the store once a week, get everything I need, and I'm not wasting time. I'm not wasting money. I'm not wasting gas, wear and tear on my car. I don't need to run back and forth to the grocery store every week. That is just... it's lack of planning, lack of being organized. I don't like to leave the house unless I have to. You guys know that. And I don't like to waste my time. I want to know everything that we could possibly need or run out of between now and next. We go every Wednesday. So if something is half gone, it goes on the list. Okay. And that way, every time you go to the store, you know exactly what you need. I use my paper up until it is completely full. I don't waste paper. So this is stuff we just got this week at the store. I just kind of scribble through it, and then we'll add to this for next week's list, and then I'll scribble through it. But Keith and I do split this. We write on the bottom stuff we need from Walmart. Okay. We need a pizza cutter. Our pizza cutter died. We like to buy a lot of frozen pizzas, and then we add extra meats. We get cheese pizza, and I add seasonings and cheese and mushrooms and olives. We build our own pizzas a lot of the time. We eat a lot of pizzas on the weekend. I shouldn't say we eat a lot of pizzas. It's not we eat pizza every night. But usually Saturday night, as a special treat, we get a frozen pizza or make your own pizza, and we add a lot of toppings to it. So now we need a new pizza cutter. Anyway, so the top is for the grocery store, and the bottom is for our Walmart once a month trip. When this is completely full and scribbled through, I rip it off and fold it in half and write my menus for the week on it, okay? And then I have, those chip clips? I have some Baby Yoda chip clips in Star Wars because my kitchen is kind of Star Wars themed. And those have magnets, and they stick to the fridge, and they clip. And so I have two sets. We don't have enough chips and pretzels in our pantry really, that we're always using all the chip clips. So I make sure I reserve one to put on the fridge to clip this. This way I can look ahead. Remember, it's all about planning and preparing and prepping. So when I'm in the kitchen on Wednesday making the red beans and rice, I can see that tomorrow I'm making spaghetti, which means I need to take out a hamburger meat to thaw so I can make the meatballs. I write our Friday night eat outs and when we go to his grandparents for dinner every Sunday. And then I will use both sides. And that way I'm using all of the paper before I throw it away. And then also Keith can look ahead because he always likes to ask me, what are we having for dinner? And I always say food. And he always says, what kind of food? And I always say, the kind of food you eat. Go check the list, dude. It's on the fridge. All right, I'm going to show you my menu. This is a fun video to make. I really love to talk about organizing and food prep and shopping and menu. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. It is like my favorite thing to talk about. Okay. I'm such a nerd. I am such an organizational nerd. I'm going to share my entire screen. Let's do this. Okay. Menu rotation. Okay. So I create my menu rotation in a spreadsheet for a couple of reasons. One, I can link websites and recipes right to the items. And the second reason is I actually create the spreadsheet in my Google Drive, and I can access this from my phone. They have an app called Google Sheets you can get on your phone. I can access this from my phone. So this is on my laptop. I'm upstairs on the 3rd floor in my office. But next Tuesday night, when I go to make the menu and the grocery list, I'm going to be down on the 2nd floor in the kitchen or in the living room. And I can pull it up on my phone and plan my menu. But I really like that I can attach links and I can go right to recipes, look at the ingredients and see what I need. Again, these are recipes I've tried that we liked, and over time I have adjusted them. I do play. I am an experimental cook, like I said, and I do make notes. Also, you can make notes in Excel, which I like. So you can see this is a Cajun chicken Alfredo. You can make it in the crock pot, but I've also added here how to make it on the stove for myself. This one I add extra butter and seasoning with noodles. This one I add black beans and corn. So I just kind of leave notes for myself as to how I'm going to adjust or adapt the recipe. And then I got links down here that are new recipes I want to try. There's not, I mean, it looks like a lot of recipes on here, but this has taken a very long time to get this far. Keith and I are not experimental eaters, okay? We're not brave. We don't like to try new things. Keith's a little picky. Not really, but yes. He likes what he likes, but he eats most of all of this, right? So, and I'm weird about meat. He likes some fish, but not all fish. I can't even stand the smell of fish. It turns my stomach. So we don't do any fish. I don't like any fish, seriously. And I've tasted just about everything that comes out of the water. I did take a year of my life in my 20s to prove to people that I didn't like, because everyone's like, well, you just haven't had the right kind of fish. And so I took a whole year of my life and tried it all. I even ate shark steak, guys. I don't like any of it. It's gross. I don't like seafood, okay? So that's just me. I don't like seafood. I don't like mayonnaise. I don't like ranch. That's where my pickiness ends. Because if it's a fruit or vegetable, I'll eat it. I'll eat almost any recipe with beef or chicken. We're not too big on pork. Keith likes chicken and basically anything with meat, but not steak. So, as a compromise, when we go out to eat once a week, sometimes we go somewhere I can get a steak, and sometimes we go somewhere where he can get fish. But these are the recipes that we like. So to start your own menu rotation, I always tell people, sit down and write down your family's favorite meals, the tried and true things that you make all the time that everybody in your house loves. Most people start writing things like spaghetti and tacos, and that's fine because that's what you guys like to eat, okay? Eating and dinner is supposed to be an enjoyable experience, especially like other countries other than the US of A, we're always running around. We're always busy. People have this lifestyle where sometimes you're just so busy, you're just always grabbing food on the go. I think eating needs to be, I like the way other countries do it. Everybody comes to the table together. You sit, you enjoy your food, you talk, you have conversation. There's no tech at the table. That's how we do things. Every Sunday when we're at his grandparents, everybody sits around the table and talks for hours before and after we eat. It's just how I like to do things. You don't have to be like me, but I do like that. And food is supposed to be enjoyable. Dinner is supposed to be an enjoyable time for you and your family. So write down those. If you guys like hamburger helper, write it down. Whatever you guys like to eat, write it down. Make a list of the tried and true, the things that you guys like to eat. If you like to do Taco Tuesday every night, good. You've got Tuesday nights planned ahead of time forever, right? And then just slowly add in new recipes and try new things. And this is not everything we've ever tried. I don't put it on here if we don't like it. Okay. We're not that adventurous, but I do love my crock pot meals. I love making things in the crock pot. I love most of the recipes here. Let me show you. This is Knorr, Knorr. They have a lot of those packages of rice and noodles. They have an entire website of recipes that you can make with their products. This is one of our favorites. So once in a while, I just go on Knorr and I grab a new recipe to try. If we like it, it gets added to the rotation. If we don't like it, we'll never eat it again. This one's really good, though. You use their creamy pesto pasta, and you put zucchini, squash, carrots, and chicken in there. So good. And since my chicken's always pre-cooked in the freezer, this is so simple for me to make. It's a one-pot meal. I love it. Another good site is the Magical Slow Cooker. This is a good site. She's got a lot of really great recipes on here that you can do all in the crock pot. I'm going to tell you that any of these recipes, you can put your chicken in raw, but I don't. Because, did I tell you I'm weird about meat? So this Magical Slow Cooker, she puts all of her chicken in raw and then shreds it with 2 forks at the end. I don't like shredded chicken. Okay, this is weird to tell you guys. I think shredded chicken tastes wet and moist and smells like wet dogs. When I tell you I'm weird, I'm weird. I don't like shredded chicken. But when it's pre-cooked and it's chunked, it's fine. So I do these recipes with that cut up pre-cooked chicken. That was really weird to admit on here. I also have to have all of my steaks and hamburgers like well done, like burnt. If there's any pink, I freak out. So I know that's a thing. Most people are like, oh my gosh, we can't be friends anymore. That's okay. So the Magical Slow Cooker, the Knorr website, you can go on Pillsbury, Kraft, all these places that have websites with recipes to get new ideas. Of course, everybody and their brother has a TikTok cooking show now. This is a really good one. This is a Knorr recipe, right? I love this recipe. It's not going to load. Okay, cool story. Oh, there it goes. Beefy Louisiana rice is what it's called. And of course, I've played around with it. Don't tell the people at Knorr, but I actually use Zatarain's for this recipe. So I get the Zatarain's rice and red beans and a box of rice and black beans or dirty rice. I get 2 boxes of rice to 1 pound of meat. And I do the Holy Trinity, which if you don't know the Holy Trinity, it is celery, onion, and bell pepper. And I add the 2 boxes in the beef. It's so good. And then we actually make extra white rice. I have a rice cooker. But yeah, so these are just some of the recipes. And I try new things all the time. You can see here in the rotation where it says something new. Something new. That means it's time to try something new. Okay, so how do I actually, and here's my soups. At any given time, I have 3 to 4 different types of soup in my freezer. and I don't know how small I am over here so you can see. I went on Amazon. I'm pretty sure they're in my Amazon storefront in Star's Kitchen section. I went and bought, they're like the big, tall plastic deli containers. If you go to like the deli and order pasta salad or whatever, potato salad, they give you those big containers. I went on Amazon and bulk ordered a pack that was meant for chefs. They have the tall ones, medium, and very small. I love using them. I do off track a little bit here, but every week when we go to the grocery store, I get a ton of stuff for salad. It's cheaper to buy produce that you have to cut yourself. When you buy pre-cut stuff, you're paying a premium for the convenience. So I buy everything the way it comes and I cut it all up myself, but I do have a very special chopper, which is in the store as well. And it makes it easy. It's cuts everything real professional. It's nice. So once a week, I do pre-cut all these vegetables that we eat on all week. We eat them in salads. I'll toss them in recipes. I toss them on my pizzas. And the little medium and small containers are great for those. And then the big ones are for the soup. So probably once every other week, I'll cook a new soup in the crock pot. And we'll eat it twice that week. And then I freeze the rest and rotate it out. So the week I'm not making a new soup, we're eating a soup out of the freezer. Sometimes I'll skip a week and not do soups, and we're not overdoing soup. But you can see I have some cool soups. I need some more soups. There's not a lot on here. But I usually have 2 to 3, maybe 4 types of soup frozen in the freezer. I also pre-make banana bread and banana muffins and put them in the freezer. You could take them out and nuke them real quick. You can freeze bananas, by the way. So if your bananas go bad and you're not ready to make banana bread, you can freeze them. Okay, so here's what I actually do. I sit down. This menu planning, the setting up of your recipes and stuff, the initial time it takes to set it up is about 10 minutes. A lot of people like to tell me, I don't have time for that. Well, I don't have time to run back and forth to the grocery store all week. I don't have time to stand there in the kitchen and stare at the wall every night and wonder what the heck I'm going to cook. I want to know what I'm making. I want it to already be in the crock pot or just pull stuff out, put it together, and cook dinner. I don't have time to fart around with not knowing what I'm doing. This took me 10 minutes to set up 10, 15 years ago, and I just add to it. It takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to create a grocery list every week. It's well worth the sanity, right? So I sit down with a notebook. I grab this, and I grab my little paper that I put my menu on, and I write my days out, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I just pull. Now, this has been cleaned up. I usually let this get pretty bad, okay, before I clean it up. But let's say I'm going to make a lasagna this week. I cut and paste it down here. And then these will slowly like get empty and they'll all be paste. So I have to clean it up once in a while. But I put lasagna on for the week and I move it. If we're having chicken stuff this week, I take the top recipe and I move it to the bottom so that we're rotating through all the time. I rotate through my soups. Like I said, I make a new soup once every 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll grab a soup. We try to do some chicken and some beef each week. And then when it gets added to the menu, it just goes to the bottom of the list. Now, you can do this with just pen and paper and just do little check marks. You can do it that way. I like it on the spreadsheet because I can link the recipes. I can get to this on my phone or my computer. And that's it. Once I have all of the items written down that I'm going to cook and I've taken them from my sheet, let me put my lasagna back up top. Once I do that, then I sit down with the notepad and I first take everything that we've got on our running list and add it to the grocery list. And then I add the usual suspects. We all have the usual suspects, right? There's things that you buy every week. Coffee creamer. We buy the salad stuff, lunch meats, breakfast items. There's just stuff every family has to get every week. So I write those down. I write down the running list, and then I go down my menu, and any items I need for that go on the list. And then I come home, and Thursdays when I go downstairs for lunch, I prep all the veggies for the week and put them in their containers. And Mondays and Tuesday nights, I cook pretty heavy. I prepare stuff in the crock pot for the week, or make stuff ahead of time to freeze. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we usually have leftovers. Sometimes we have a frozen pizza on Saturday. But that is how I do it. I've been asked a lot of times, like, how are you so organized? How do you do your menu rotation? And how do you save so much time and money at the grocery store? You do save money too. You're not just saving time. When you plan ahead of time and you buy the ingredients you need to cook a meal, and the meal makes enough for leftovers. No, it is just me and Keith here now because my kids are grown. But most meals, when you break it down, all the ingredients and everything, with the amount of leftovers we get, we're getting a meal for $1.50, $2 a person. So, but even if you have kids, I mean, it helps to plan ahead of time. It really, really saves you a lot of money, time, stress. You're never standing in the kitchen going, what am I making tonight, right? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below. I do respond to everybody. Take a gander in our Amazon storefront and see all the things that I use in the kitchen. Go be productive, guys. Go make some money. Go make your menu rotation list. I'll see you next time. Y'all are the best. Bye.